This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to INC Radio on another lovely weekend. I'm Taylor Joy Lagpacan from the local congregation of Temecula Valley.
And I'm Lorraine Lubon from the local congregation of El Cajon.
And you are tuned into INC Radio San Diego. Thank you for joining us for a very special show today. We are going to be highlighting and commemorating the 55th anniversary celebration of the local congregation of National City. In case you don't know, National City is it is the largest local congregation in San Diego County and is so rich in history. And we are going to be hearing from a very special in-studio guest about the history of National City. So we're all going to learn a little bit about National City today. So we hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to get comfy for today. Maybe grab a little coffee or tea while you're at it. Enjoy it with me and Lorraine. And stay tuned throughout our entire show. We love to read your comments throughout our show as well. And how exactly can people be involved in our show today, Lorraine?
They can leave us a comment using these local congregations that they belong in our district. And of course, stay tuned towards the end of the show to hear the previous winners from our last broadcast.
Yes, from last week. All right. So without further ado, while you're all sharing the link to view the show today with your friends and family and leaving your comments, we're going to go ahead and welcome our very special in-studio guest. I'm going to let him introduce himself for the most part, but please join us in welcoming Brother Robert Papa. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Good morning to everybody that's viewing and listening.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us for our show today, Brother Robert, or Brother Bob.
Brother Bob.
Yes. For anyone who hasn't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, could you please introduce yourself a little bit to our viewers and listeners, and also maybe mention how many years have you been in National City?
So as they introduced me, my name is Brother Robert Papa, but in the locale, they call me Brother Bob. So whenever you see me, just call me Brother Bob, because if you say Brother Robert, I get I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
But I have been in National City since pretty much the beginning. I was born and raised in this locale.
Nice.
So my parents are pioneer members. So I was probably one of the first kids in the locale, probably, most likely. And I am currently the head deacon, fifth head deacon in National City.
That is amazing. And how long have you been one of the head deacons here, if you can recall?
It's got to be at least 8-10 years now. Can't remember exactly, but it's been a while.
That's still a really long time.
Yes.
And knowing that you grew up here, I can already tell you're without a doubt one of the perfect guests for us to have on our show today, especially to talk about such a milestone celebration for National City. Okay. So we're so excited to ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Before we do that, maybe Lorraine, you can help us by giving a question for the live chat to think about.
Yes, of course. For those tuning in with us, we have a question for everyone. What do you think helps strengthen a community the most through the years? A, shared values, B, strong family connections, or C, tell us?
I like that question. I'm excited to see how everyone will respond in the live chat. And while we give some time for our viewers and listeners to do that, Brother Bob,
yes,
we wanted to ask you. So as you're looking back on the 55 years of National City's victories and history, how have you seen the faith of the congregation grow and evolve through the generations?
Okay. So National City started in 1970, and I was just an infant at that time. So my early memories are of like 72, 73, the early 1970s. And I can tell you, just as a little child, I could already tell the brotherhood.
Yeah.
Very, very strong. You have to remember back in the 1970s, you couldn't walk down the street and not see another Filipino because there weren't that many.
Oh, wow.
Not saying that the church is Filipino, but It's just the church reemerged in the Philippines. So
Right.
mostly Filipinos at that time, 99%. But if you saw another Filipino walking down the street during that time, you would be shocked.
Really?
Like, wow, yes. But I think that helped us in National City, because as the brethren started to come and we started to get together, we shared the same culture.
For sure.
Shared the same culture, but mostly we shared the same faith. And I think that has been one constant in National City throughout the years, is the brotherhood. And of course, the faith will always be there. It continues to grow with each and every blessing that National City gets. Our faith gets even stronger and stronger. So
That's amazing. And I kind of find it a little shocking, actually, knowing that back then the Filipino community wasn't so strong, because nowadays, if I think of National City, I immediately think of the strong Filipino presence and the Filipino community out here. So that, I feel like that alone just goes to show how much has changed over the years, and how, you know, like you were mentioning, community has grown, especially in regard to your faith, our faith inside the church. And also, we have a follow-up question in regard to that. Can you share maybe a moment that stands out to you that reflects the growth that you have witnessed?
the one thing that sticks out with me is more of a personal one. It was about 1986, 85, 86, around that time. The locale was probably, 15, 16 years old. But we had grown to where we needed a bigger chapel.
Yeah.
For those of us in the early days of National City, we had in our parking lot, we had a little white tiny chapel.
Oh.
And it probably sat maybe not even 100 brethren. So either you came in right after the officer's prayer, or you sat outside, because we would have to open up the windows to be able to hear the worship service. They were sitting in the canopies.
Wow.
So in 1986, around that time, 85, 86, we started building our chapel.
I see.
And I remember then I was a binhi at that time, and I was sitting with other binhis. We were like choir members, CFO officers. But the chapel was maybe like 80% done. No pews, no carpets. The walls were up, the windows were built, but it was still pretty much just bare bones chapel. We were sitting there in the choir loft, and I was just looking out over into the chapel and couldn't believe the great blessing that we had. We were so happy, couldn't wait to be able to worship.
That's amazing.
That's such a great way to reflect as a youth in the church, especially growing up in the local congregation of National City, really getting to feel all of that blessing at that early age.
So thank you so much for sharing such a touching memory. We feel very honored to be able to know that that's what the experience was like for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And while we're at it, we have Brother Bob here, as well as some in-studio audience from National City. We want to give them a big shout out as well. Thank you so much for joining us, all of your beautiful faces, for such a special show. We hope that you're enjoying so far. And maybe we can also read some comments from those who are tuning in as well. Would you like to kick it off?
Yes, of course. So I think they're answering our question from earlier about what they think helps strengthen a community. Sister Angelica Babin says the love for each other, I believe, is what bonds a community together.
For sure. Also, comment from Julie Ann Tumbaga. Our church family relationships strengthen our bonds through the years.
I love that. From Sunny Cirillo, Brother Bob was my Kadiwa president when I became a member a long time ago.
Wow. Sweet. Also from, I think we read that one already, right? Another one here from Merle. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Happy 55th anniversary, National City.
Erwin Prado says the live audience sounds super excited.
They feel very excited. You couldn't already tell, for sure. Also, another comment here from Sister Precious Capistrano. Belated happy anniversary, Marco and Sister Mitzi De La Cruz. Happy anniversary. All right. Maybe Do you want to read maybe one or two more before we move on?
Yeah, from Josephine Pimentel. Good morning, everyone. Happy 55th anniversary and see your National City.
Love it. And let's just read one more here from... Did we read already from Sister Angelica Bevins?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
we wanted to represent or shout her out twice.
Yes, because she's so excited in the live chat.
Yes,
We can
of
see
course.
that. Also, shout out to Sister Gloria Salazar. Good morning, San Diego, National City.
I love it.
Thank
Love
you,
it.
everyone. Please continue to leave your comments. We will read them throughout our show. But we also want to ask you another question.
For those tuning in with us, what's a favorite memory you have from your local congregation, whether it's an activity or just a time with fellow brethren? So share with us, and we'd love to read it during our show, of course.
Yes. And Brother Bob, we have another question for you.
Sure.
So as a head deacon specifically, what have you observed about the role of families and elders in passing down the faith to the next generation?
Families and our elders, very, very important.
Yeah.
From what I've seen and witnessed personally and with all the brethren. My father used to tell me stories of when they first got here. When he first got here, can you imagine leaving the Philippines, not having any worship service in the United States?
Yeah.
And the first thing that he did was think about his faith. He wanted to worship, so they started looking for other brethren. Finally, they had a community prayer group, where they would always pray, God, please send us a minister. We want to worship the right way. We want to worship you, in our like worship service. Please send us a minister. Kept praying and praying, and eventually, someone did come to watch over their faith.
Yeah.
But even in the early days, having a place just to worship was hard. We'd go someplace, and the people there wouldn't like us there. So getting persecuted, having a hard time trying to find a place to worship. But just hearing those stories from my dad, who was a pioneer member, and seeing how the locale has grown since then, there's no doubt that our Almighty God has blessed this locale. So just to always be prayerful, to always have the strong faith, to hear those stories from your parents of the things that they went through, or our elders, and to see how God has blessed them through the years. And you can see, like in National City, not only was there a locale here, but we're the mother locale to so many other locales now.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And there's continued success in National City, success after success, and it's all because of our Almighty God. And those are through the stories that we hear also.
Yes. You make a very important point. The value that there is in these stories. Speaking on behalf of, someone who's not as old as you. I'm a lot younger than you.
It's true.
I was trying to figure out the nicest way to put that. I'm just saying, you're very
not
wise.
as experienced as
There you go.
him.
Yes. I don't have as much.
We need
as
a
many
coffee
memories.
break.
Let me take a sip.
We need a coffee break.
Thank you. I'm just trying to say, as a Kadiwa member, let me just leave it at that. In this part of the world, I grew up in California, and the presence of the church was already so well established ever since I was little. And so I don't know what it was like for you when you were growing up. The presence wasn't as strong, so it must have been very challenging for you. And I think it's so important that we cherish these stories that we hear from pioneering members, from our elders, our grandparents, our parents, because it opens up our eyes in a very different way that we've never experienced before. So thank you for sharing this with us. Do you feel the same, Lorraine?
Yeah, I don't even have any words to say. Like, it really is very inspiring to hear, but especially from someone who grew up in this local congregation, definitely seeing the 55 years of success in this congregation. And of course, you have kids of your own. You have 4 beautiful daughters, and, getting to pass on these stories as well. It just shows how strong everyone's faith is in this congregation.
Yeah. And I love these photos that have been shared with us for our broadcast today. I'm assuming these are from your actual celebration. It looks beautiful. What a beautiful venue. Everybody looks so dolled up. I love seeing everyone's ensembles, everyone dressed in their nicest attire. I saw some performances, photos of the program, it looks like. Can you share one of your favorite moments or memories from the celebration itself?
One of the ones that hit me the most was when the final performance was, it was mostly the choir.
Yeah.
And they did a song that they did at the 50th anniversary of in the West.
Oh, I see.
But the song fits National City so well, where you know, came from the East, gathered in the West, the blessings of our Almighty God to us. And it was just being there with the full choir of National City. It was just, it was beautiful.
I'm sure.
It was beautiful.
National City has a beautiful choir.
It might be out there somewhere, like in, if you get the chance to watch it, because every time I listen to it, it's still, listen to it like many times, it still gets to me.
I bet. All right. I need one of you to share that video with me afterwards, please.
Someone shared on the comments from Sister Cora Makahila's favorite activities are when we do our invitations to politicians to join us during our evangelical missions and caregiving. So this is such a great way to see how the impact of National City in general, the local congregation of National City is to our community,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, a comment here from Romeo Trinidad. I performed as the organist in a worship service back in 1980. I was sent by Sister Emmy to help.
Aww,
Wow.
that's so wonderful.
Yes.
That's amazing.
From Sister Annalyn Pangilinan, favorite memories and blessed occasions, Ka Eduardo Manalo's pastoral visitation, our wedding, our children's offering, and booklet meetings.
Love that. Also, from Sister Precious, she also says, energy, it's a happy show.
Yay.
Very happy show indeed.
Aw, and from Nate Nationality says, these hosts are my fave. Great dynamic.
Thank
Amazing.
you. Also, one more comment here from Sister Angelica Bavins again. Sorry, excuse me. Favorite memory of National City was worshiping in the chapel for the very first time and witnessing how beautiful the chapel is inside before its renovation to what its beauty is now. Humbled to be in National City.
Aww.
Amazing. I love it. Thank you so much, everyone. We do have one more question for everyone tuning in, though.
For our last question for the chat, which activity brings the congregation together the most? A, unity games, B, anniversary celebration, C, community service projects, or D, let us know.
Lots of good options. And Brother Bob, as we start to wrap up our discussion here with you, we also wanted to ask you, what's your message to the youth and future leaders of the local congregation of National City as they continue this legacy of faith?
To the youth, just be very active in your membership in the church. If you can, take an office. From personal experience, and I know from a lot of brethren in National City, we grew up at the chapel.
Yeah.
We would be here all day with each other. Our brotherhood got stronger and stronger. We're basically, you can say we're a family, because we are. We call each other brother and sister, right?
Yes.
But my advice to you is just be active, love your duty, love the church, love your membership. That way, especially when you have a duty, and you'll hear that in our lesson today, this weekend, Eduardo. When you have a duty, God's going to listen to your prayer, right? That, I think, to me, that's a duty is very important, because He knows you need to have strong faith. You need the material blessings. You need the, knowledge and wisdom to be able to take care of His church.
Yeah.
And as officer of the church, you're doing that. So He's going to give you what you need. And I have no doubt He's going to at least listen to your prayer, right?
Yes.
So many billions of people in this world trying to talk to God. They don't, they can't. But we have that great blessing of God at least hearing our prayers. But I have no doubt, as officers holding an office in the church, I have no doubt that God is going to be there for you, give you the things that you need. Your faith will be strong too. You'll have brethren to lean on.
Yeah. Right? Very true. I just want to give major props to you and to all of the parents, the aunties, uncles, and elders in National City who are guiding the younger generation, because from my standpoint, as a Kadiva member in a different local congregation, I can see at activities and even just on social media how strong the bond is amongst the youth right now. They're always hanging out with each other in big groups, going out to dinner together, even just hanging out here in this very room. We see that, and it's so beautiful and inspiring. And I want to echo you. Please keep that up. That is so amazing to see, and we hope that's something that inspires other local congregations as well.
Yeah, and definitely this is where you find the best friends that you have. I'm sure you can speak on that, Brother Bob, that growing up in this local congregations, I'm sure you've met a lot of people, and I'm sure they've also left the local congregation, but they keep coming back to National City because this is home.
Yes. Yeah, it's just being born and raised here in the United States, I pretty much know what it is to go to school here. And, the pressures of, everybody's right, don't hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. But the influences on you sometimes can be, peer pressure to do the things that are not God's will. We have our teachings that we have to follow, right?
Yes,
So when times like that come, from my experience growing up here, when times like that came and I had my close brothers and sisters at church and my friends at school asked me to do something, it was easy for me to say, oh no, you guys go ahead and have fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to church.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, just be active at church. Love the church. Love your faith, and you're gonna be okay.
You're gonna be okay.
Love
Yes,
that.
I love that. Thank you so much, Brother Bob. We've
You're
gained
welcome.
so much from our discussion with you. I wish we could continue, but we are limited on time. But if you ever see Brother Bob around National City or the district, be sure to say hi to him.
Yes.
He has amazing stories to tell, as we can see. And before we move on, maybe read just a couple more comments before we wrap up here from, you want to kick it off?
Go ahead.
Okay, from Jeremiah Payne, all of the above. Unity games are a primary one of the activities that really brings National City together. Unity Games softball of 2023 and 2024 were a blast.
I love that. From Tracy Camacho, wonderful and heartwarming sentiment, Brother Bob.
Absolutely. Brother Nate says, love the wisdom that Bob shares. Truly inspirational.
From Elizabeth, she says, happy 55th anniversary, National City.
Yes. And one more here from Sister Sophia Carlos. Where are we eating after this, National City? Great question. The most important question. All right. Thank you once again, everyone, for being part of this very valuable discussion today. Before we let you go, Brother Bob, do you have any shout outs you'd like to make?
Well, to my daughters,
Yeah.
Allie, Samantha, Drew, and Kendall. To my greatest blessing, my wife, Sister Ruby. And to our resident minister, Brother Marco De La Cruz, Brother Wilson, Delorian, Brother Alpha Tumbaga. We're so blessed to have them in National City. So shout out to them also. Thank you guys.
Sure. This has been a really great morning with you, Brother Bob. Thank you so much.
You're
Let's
welcome.
give Brother Bob one more round of applause.
It's been an honor.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, but we will see you later.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Wow, that was so heartwarming.
That was
My
really
heart
good.
is so full.
I know. I love this feeling. Lorraine,
Taylor,
what's that?
I think that's activities on the horizon.
On the horizon. All right. So, highlighting some of the events happening here in San Diego County, recently we had our Welcome My Brethren at Chula Vista. This was in conjunction with our district-wide baptism as well. So, welcome to our newly baptized brethren, and shout out to Chula Vista for hosting this.
And for our previous activity, we had our CFO Cares at the Chula Vista Chapel compound, which happened on May 3rd.
Very
Look at that.
exciting.
Oh, look at all those kids.
Yeah. And coming up, May 17th, is that today? Oh, that is today. We have our CBI, or Christian Brotherhood International, Managing Priorities Workshop at the Chula Vista Chapel. This will be at 2 p.m. I believe there's also a WebEx option, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we have familiar faces on that panel.
Yes, so please join us for that.
Yes, for our upcoming Unity Games Basketball Edition. This will be on May 25th at the San Diego City College. Registration begins at 1 p.m.
All right. And also Unity Games Golf Edition at the Oceanside Golf Course. Registration for this begins at 7:30 a.m. So very excited to see all of our golfers there. Excuse me. I need another sip of
And that's what's on the horizon for the San Diego Satellite Studio. Taylor!
The rain!
What are we excited for? Whoa, what are we excited for?
We're excited to take another sip of our coffee and tea.
I'm so excited.
Yes, for our global shout out challenge winners. That's right. So in no particular order, here are the top 3 winners from last week's challenge. We have the local congregation of Menifee and the local congregation of
North San Diego.
And the local congregation of
Vista.
I have a feeling National City will be part of the top 3 next week. So, just a feeling. So, let's hoop for that. All right. We are also going to jump into one of my personal favorite segments here on INCRadio San Diego, into sunny San Diego.
Where are we going?
Where are we going today, Lorraine? Well, in case you don't know, Into Sunny San Diego is a segment where we highlight the places to eat, the places to visit here in sunny San Diego. Today we're going to breakfast.
Breakfast, perfect.
Breakfast
What time? Yeah,
foods.
still breakfast, right?
Yes, it's breakfast time.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lovely cafe. This cafe has become an essential part of the Oceanside community.
Okay, it is located off the historic Highway 101 that runs along the California coast, halfway between downtown Los Angeles and the Mexican border. The surf-inspired diner serves American fare with a California twist.
Yum. People taking a break from the beach or those who want a pre-ocean meal flock over here for them. Ooh, for cinnamon-laced coffee cake drizzled with frosting and giant and inventive 4-egg omelets and scrambles.
I can visualize that. My mouth can visualize that.
Yes, it was right there.
While dining, they can check out the colorful surfboards, surfboard-inspired ceiling fan, and surf photos that decorate this breakfast and lunch-only spot.
Yum. The Banana Crunch French toast is a favorite, dipped in honey, bunches of oats for the crunch, and then topped with bananas and a healthy dose of whipped cream.
Yeah,
delicious.
Look at that.
These foods sound right up my alley.
Yeah,
I think we need to take a field trip to
Yep.
Oceanside.
Definitely after the show. Maybe.
Maybe. And I think this is the coffee cake, the very iconic coffee cake that everyone raves
It looks
about.
moist. Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wow.
Very. I like the crumble on top, especially. That looks delicious. Thank you for our team for gathering this footage from this very fun surf-inspired cafe. We'll definitely have to check it out. And we encourage you to check it out if you're ever in the Oceanside area as well. Look at all the surfboards.
Wow.
Oh, and skateboards.
Those skateboards. Yeah, we love skateboards.
What unique decorations.
Wow.
They're very unique here in San Diego, if you haven't noticed.
Well, before we wrap up, we do have a few more comments to share from Angelica Babin. She says, being a part of National City is like being the closest to our salvation. You can really feel the Holy Spirit here, especially when singing in the choir loft.
I bet. Also a comment here from Rona Valoria. Thank you, Brother Bob.
From Cora Macahilas, I'd say all these activities, and yes, Brother Bob, correct. We all grow up, especially our children, when an INC or Iglesianicristo is growing fast, started in 1980. So she's just reflecting back on how strong the faith is here in National City.
Definitely. All right. Once again, thank you everyone for joining us for our show today. We hope you have been inspired like Lorraine and I have. And before we go, we would like to greet and thank the following individuals who help make INC Radio San Diego possible. Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Aranio Manalo, our CEBSI President, Brother Wally Taray, our INC Radio Station Manager.
Brother Matthew Capistrano, our Supervising Minister of SDC, Brother Alex Oñate, our Assistant Supervising Minister of SDC, and Brother Christian Ko, our District Multimedia Advisor. Up next, INC Radio Sacramento.
And join us next week for INC Radio San Diego as we talk about work-life balance. Very, very
Excited.
I'm personally very excited for that. We're going to be breaking the busy wave. Hope to see you there. Until next time here on INC Radio San Diego, goodbye, everyone. Stay safe, and we will catch you on the next Wave. Bye, shout out to the audience. It was hot, now it's cold. My face is